Hey everyone, it's Mario Time 1000 and welcome back to another F1 2018 Diecast unboxing. Today we are looking at a diecast, one of my most highly anticipated diecasts of this series. It is the Haas F1 VF-18. Particular in this video, we are going to look at Romain Grosjean's Haas, but obviously we also have Kevin Magnussen to look at a different date. But we are not going to delay, except we are going to delay because this has been so far the hardest diecast for me to get. Obviously I have it here, but I've sort of not been going after all of them as quickly as I wanted to. This is so far the hardest one that I've wanted to get, and getting to it has been really annoying. I alluded to this in the last video, that I was trying to get the Haas and it escaped my grasp, but it didn't really do that because, so what happened was I bought this car on eBay. It was a Romain Grosjean, his VF-18, but it was like $60 some, and that it too good to be true. That's the long story short. I paid for it, and it sort of just never came, but I did get my money back. After I bought it, it got removed completely off of eBay. Like, in my purchasing history, it didn't even say what it was. It just said, item removed. And I'm like, well, that's funny. Even items I have bought in the past that have now been removed because I bought them or someone else, or they had a limited quantity and sold them all. It says item removed, but it says what it was. So this one didn't even say what it was. And then the seller closed his account right after I bought it. So I was like, yeah, this is probably not going to come. So I waited a little bit just to see. But nope, never arrived. So I did get my money back, but that was a little bit irritating. I'm still having Haas trouble because I also bought Kevin Magnussen's diecast. I initially wanted this to be, both cars. So I bought Kevin Magnussen's diecast. I had it in my cart, and I purchased them at the same time. My subtotal was like $100 some for both. And then this one shipped, and the Kevin Magnussen is still in my cart on eBay because I guess it's sold out, even though I bought it, and I'm pretty sure I have an email saying I bought both of them. But yeah, that's a bit annoying, but at least we got one of them today. As I've said before, this is my most highly anticipated diecast probably of the season. I've never gotten a Haas diecast. I've always wanted one, but the 2017 scheme kind of sucked, or the livery, sorry. 2017 livery kind of sucked in my opinion, especially that all gray one. So I was not interested in getting that. And I like the 2016 one, but I think this one's better, so yeah. This is definitely Haas's best livery. That includes 2019. But let's get into it. I'm pretty excited for this one. Of course, this is America's F1 team. That's why I like it a lot. Sentimental favorite, I guess, or I kind of have to like it because America or whatever. But here's it out of the plastic case. It has the typical Minichamps box to it, that checkered flag pattern. The Williams did not have that, so it had a different box. So I thought we were going to get some unique boxes from Minichamps, but nope. But I guess the box doesn't really matter. You got the little Haas F1 team, VF-18, Romain Grosjean 2018. So let's take this off the base, and my cat bumped the camera, because thanks. Let's take this off the base, and we will look at the Haas VF-18. So here it is, the 2018 Haas F1 car. That's what we were saying that. It is out of the box, and yeah, it looks pretty nice. I always liked these colors on the Haas. A lot of people thought it was a bit uninspired when they came to this in 2016 with these colors, and they're like, we've seen these colors before. But if you've ever seen a Haas car in NASCAR, you know that these are the colors they have always used. I remember in like 2015, people were showing off fantasy liveries for Haas, and they were like yellow and black. They looked terrible. And I'm like, yellow on a Haas car? If you guys just look up Haas race car and you'll know. I still don't think they've quite hit it out yet with the F1 liveries. I think the NASCAR ones, the Haas NASCARs, have always looked a little bit better. But this is certainly not a bad looking car. One thing I found was interesting was that it also has like a really thick nose here. Like I noticed that on the Ferrari too. And we know Haas and Ferrari, their relationship is pretty good, I guess you could say. In fact, you could probably make the argument that we are looking at the 2017 Ferrari right here, because everyone was kept talking about how similar those look. But actually looking at the car now, I've held it on the front wing forever. I never actually noticed that the gray and the black here were like different colors. I just never really looked at it that closely. Oh, there is a radio antenna right there. Dang, that could have been bad. I have not broken one of these yet. Although, oh no, wow. That's just fascinating to me. Look at that tiny, it won't even focus on it. It's so, look at this tiny little thing right there. I thought that was broken, but that is actually on that car. That is, these Minichamps diecasts never cease to amaze me. Wow. Anyway, yeah, we got a different color here. Very nice little front wing here. It's got the little knob end at the back here, or at the front, but it looks fairly nice. And that is, I assume, road and safety, FIA. No, yeah, it is. That's usually, we got the Haas logo, 8 Pirelli. Obviously, this is Romain Grosjean. And the Haas logo right here, because they did not have a title sponsor yet. And we don't know yet if their title sponsor for 2019 is like a real company. It's this car smells, oh, maybe it's giving a weird smell here. Nothing like, we got the halo here, obviously the thing that pretty much separates the 2018 and 2017 cars. This halo, it does not have a separate piece, but if you can sort of see here, it's got some markings on here. It's textured. Unlike the Toro Rosso, the Williams. Both those cars had separate pieces to the halo. This one does not. We've got, so show this in the light better so we can see the detail. The barge board area, very, very nice detail. I'm trying to show this off here. It's kind of hard. But yeah, we got the United States flag, of course, because this is America's F1 team. I don't think anyone particularly cares in America about F1 still, but hey, it's a start. I think once we get a driver, maybe, I don't know. But I guess according to Haas, no, none of the American drivers are talented enough to run in F1, so cool. That's all I gotta say to that, cool. We got the big Haas logo on the side here. We got the nice gray color and then black at the bottom. Ooh, this detail's nice here. I'm just noticing this. HaasCNC.com. I like every time I go on eBay to look for F1 diecast for Haas, it shows Haas machines, which are very, very expensive. Why would I buy that on eBay? Number 8, of course, Romain Grosjean. And I like this. I like this, but I don't like this at the same time. We got the back here. And you cannot even hardly see the sort of T-wing back here. It is so thin. I don't even know how do you even do that? Like, that is insane. It won't even like focus on it because it's so, but you can see it right there. That is on both sides of the car, but it is so thin. Like, if you look at it, just get the camera right, you can't even see it. So that is insane. And they got the Haas. That's like a carbon fiber rear wing. That's interesting. I don't know if it's just a pattern. No, it's textured like carbon fiber. We got a blank rear wing. I feel like there's supposed to be a logo here of some sort, but I don't know what it would be. So, interesting. And then we've got the rear diffuser detail. Really interesting. This has got a really long piece at the back here that it's on top of the light, so I don't really know what it's supposed to be. And we've got, of course, Jack Jones. I don't know what the middle thing is there, and I don't even know what Jack Jones is, but it's on the Haas car, so I should like it. And this side is essentially the same. Show off some of the rear wing detail again here. The rear wing is something I think I gloss over quite a bit sometimes, so usually have trouble with the camera. We've got the backwards United States flag. I'm not really sure why they didn't decide to like flip it so it was the correct orientation, but the stars are on the right and not on the left, which is a little weird, but I don't really care. That is the Haas. Well, we didn't look at the bottom. The bottom is always the same, though. I guess we could take a look at the detailing. Wow, they even got some gray down here. That's interesting. Always like the detail on the Minichamps. It's always pretty good. How about Haas F1's season, though? I guess since I only got one car here, it doesn't really make sense to go the team as a whole. But for Grosjean, at least, not a good season, I would say. That's probably saying it lightly. I don't even remember where he got his first points. It was the race before Austria, I think. No, that would be Canada, wouldn't it? I don't remember if it went Canada, Austria, France. I think those races were all... It was somewhere around Austria. Now, they had 4th and 5th locked up at Australia, and they screwed it up. That story has been told to death, though. We don't need to talk about it again because that is a embarrassing moment that happened again in 2019. And now there's a Netflix documentary talking all about it. I forgot one thing we got to look at. But anyway, they messed up in Australia. Kevin Magnussen really pulled the team, I think, in 2018. He should be the number one driver, in my opinion. And I don't want to knock Grosjean or anything. I think he's a good driver, but he's inconsistent, I think. But Haas has been very inconsistent their entire F1 career. Some days they're there, and then some days they are 13th, 15th at the back. I think they really need to fix that if they are going to be the 4th best team. And I think they very well could. I think they kind of were the 4th best team last year. But on days they showed up, they were the 4th best team. But then there was those days that they just didn't. I'm noticing that this shape is so weird at the back of this F1 car. Usually it sort of just thins out at the back here, but this car comes back and it covers up these suspension bits that I noticed. Very weird shape, like the Williams had a very weird shape to it. Anyway, they just need to work on consistency, and I think getting some different drivers could help that. But I think Haas are just trying to stick to the same drivers to sort of develop their car. And that's a pretty good strategy. I think that's a bit more of a NASCAR thing to do then, but it is a NASCAR team after all. But one thing I didn't look at that I should look at is the driver detailing. I don't have my light with me, so we probably won't be able to look. You can see he's got a driver suit on, and the steering wheel is detailed. You can see that there pretty nicely. But one thing I like about this is the helmet. It actually has got a sort of glossy shine to it. You can't really see it on the camera, but it does look very nice. So that is a nice detail. And we are back on the soft tire, no longer the super soft that we had on the Williams. But Haas, just get it together, please. You could be the 4th best team. Maybe not now, but I think they stepped up in 2018, and they could have been the 4th best team easily. But also, they got disqualified in Italy. That didn't necessarily, and the United States, they got disqualified in their home race. So that was a couple. I think that was 10 points that they lost. I think it was 10. I think Kevin Magnussen finished ninth originally in the United States Grand Prix. But yeah, Grosjean season, not very good. Crashed in Baku. I think that's the most famous crash of the season because of the whole Ericsson hit us thing. And I don't even think Ericsson was behind him. He was behind him, just really far behind him, right? And he was running sixth in that race. It could have been a good finish, but kind of blew it. But they did finish fourth and fifth in Austria. Australia and Austria are Haas's best tracks. They just can't finish a race in Australia, but they can in Austria. So when we come to Austria, be on the lookout for that gold and black that Haas somehow messed up. I really think the 2019 livery is not very good. It's boring to me. It's gold and black and boring. They really messed that one up. But hey, they were faster in preseason testing, so they're better than Red Bull. They were faster in like one lap. But yeah, here is the Haas F1 diecast. Very nice as always. One of my most anticipated diecasts. I think you could sort of tell when I'm interested in an F1 diecast I'm talking about because I can just keep going. But something like a Williams, I don't really know what to say because under regular circumstances, I probably never buy a Williams diecast, but since I'm trying to get all of them, that is what we were doing. But yeah, great looking diecast. I really like the uniqueness of these F1 cars when they have these weird sort of shapes things to them. It really makes collecting all of them worth it. And we've got probably my favorite F1 team just because it's American. I don't know, that or probably Sauber or Alfa Romeo now, but at least it's still called the C38, and it's still a Swiss F1 team, but it's still Sauber in my heart. Anyway, that is it for the video. I don't really know what F1 diecast to look at next. Obviously, I'm missing the big one. We still have to look at Mercedes. So I'll probably try and do Mercedes next, maybe. At least one of them. So yeah. Thank you guys for watching the Haas video, the VF-18, and I will see you in the next one. If you guys have any suggestions on which diecast I should look at next, you can post it in the comment, and maybe I will look at that one next, but I feel like most people will say Mercedes, so it's probably just good to get on that one. Actually, we have one more thing to look at in this video, and then we will end it. Of course, I could not forget looking at all the F1 2018 diecasts we have got so far. I'm ordering it by points, but I'm ordering it how I think they went. So I don't exactly know if this is right, but I don't really care. We've got both the Ferraris. We've got our newest edition, the Haas. Of course, we've got the Toro Rosso and the Alfa Romeo Sauber, the two Williams, and the other Toro Rosso. So it's looking pretty nice. We've got we've completed 3 teams, and we've got one of each of the Ferrari sort of junior teams. No Renault powered cars yet. I didn't even notice that I hadn't gotten one of those. Not even no Tag Heuer powered cars either, guys. So, we've got a pretty nice looking grid so far. If this grid were to actually go out and race, Ferrari would still lap the entire field and probably more than once. So, not a competitive grid yet, but nice looking nonetheless. Alright, that is the end of the video. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you when we look at our next diecast.